get everybody's attention for a second. One of the great honors we're having this year is the introduction of this year's Illinois Stock Car Hall of Fame inductees. And right now I'd like to bring up Jerry, Stan, and Earl Clement to announce it. And please give them your undivided attention because they're three legends and great people in this sport. So thank you. Well, except for Stan.
Thank you very much, Jimmy. It's always great to be here at the annual memorabilia show. We're here today to announce the 2022 Illinois Stock Car Hall of Fame inductees. And with further ado, here's the list for 2022. For the Northwest region, Dick Trickle, America's winningest stock car driver, 7-time ARTCO champion, and 2-time American Speed Association champion. For the Midwest region, Frank Reber, 4-time Santa Fe Speedway champion, 3-time LaSalle Speedway champion, and also a Kankakee Speedway late model champion, Frank Reber. For the Northeast region, a 3-time ARCA champion, Bob Dodder, Sr., Bob Dodder. Also a long-time short track ace on the Chicago area circuits. The South region, Joe Ross Sr., 3-time Springfield Speedway late model champion, Joe Ross Sr. Track promoter, Joe Fabricius, Bob Joe Sycamore Speedway, and his daughter Linda and granddaughter Samantha with us today. Joe Fabricius, who built that track back in the early 60s. Race official, Roger Smith, longtime starter at Raceway Park, Roger Smith. And he brought his whole family here today. Roger Smith, track official. Car builder, Bob Novi, longtime car builder, mechanic, especially at Santa Fe Speedway. A lot of success there with Arnie Gardner, a Stock Car Hall of Fame member. Car builder Bob Novi. And finally, last but not least, artist, sign painter, and a race car driver himself, Dan Collier. Dan Collier, artist, sign painter, also known as James Bond, 007. Again, our inductees for this year, Dick Trickle, Frank Reber, Bob Dodder Sr., Joe Ross Sr., Joe Fabricius, Roger Smith, Bob Novi, and Dan Collier. Let's have a hand for all those folks. Thank you very much. Roger Smith, you're not doing anything. Come over here. I'm still looking for that 20 I lent you back in 1970. Where's it at?
Checks in the mail.
Checks in the mail. Roger, I think you and your dad now will become Hall of Fame members. That's got to be a great honor.
Yes, it is a great honor.
Yes. Did you ever think it would come to this? When was the first year you started working at Raceway Park? I remember I was just a little kid in about 1969 going out there, and I'll tell you the story. Here's a story about Roger Smith and myself. 1969, I'm a big-time racing photographer, at least I thought I was. And Ham LaBaza said, yeah, kid, you can go out there and take some pictures. But if these 3 guys, or 4 guys, your 2 brothers and your dad and you, if they say jump or move, you listen to them. And that's where I met Roger Smith, 1969, a couple of years ago. Tell us about some interesting things there as a flagman starter at Raceway Park, the world's busiest track.
Well, a quick story, like Stan just said, we kind of told him, do not turn your back on him. A couple of years before Raceway closed, I turned my back on him on the infield, and one of those little dwarf cars hit the wall. And once he hit the grass, I had no idea where he was going. I jumped as high as I could, still caught me in the leg, but I did not get hurt. and that's one story I told him, never turn your back, and I did it. But my really official year of starting was probably 67 when I got out of the Army. I did a little bit in 64, but not much. And back then it was 4 nights a week, holidays. The one year they had the 25th anniversary, that ran 7 days a week. I had a great time. I wouldn't change it for anything. I mean, I met guys like Stan and Danny Collier, Bobby Dotter. I mean, I know all them guys and had good times with them. I don't regret it one bit.
One other story, Roger, and we'll let you go. I know you're busy over there at the tables trying to make a buck. You said your dad had a small stroke, I think, or heart attack, and he's going to be out. He's not going to be able to handle the flags there at Raceway. And you went in the office and told Blanche Jenin that I don't think Dad's not going to be able to flag the races. I don't know what you're going to do. And what'd she tell you?
Go get his flags, basically. The job is yours, and that's how I started doing the flagging.
Once again, 2020 Illinois Stock Car Hall of Fame inductee, Roger Smith. Congratulations, Roger. Dan Collier. Let's have a hand for Dan Collier, better known to most of us as James Bond, driver of the 007. You've done it all, drag racing, stock car racing, a little bit of sign painting and lettering some cars. Tell us that story about when you were doing the sign painting and you were doing Bud Kaler's cars and a guy named Bob Pronger's cars. Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, when I would go to Kaler's garage, he would give me a bad time that I went to Pronger's garage, and Pronger would give me a bad time for going to Kaler's garage.
So you sold the information back in, no, you didn't do that.
Little did they know I didn't know anything about chassis at all. I relied on George Willie, Ralph Wren, and Kyle Harvey to set my cars. And then, so I didn't learn anything about chassis.
So you were just the wheelman, you let them get other grease monkeys do the work and get dirty and all that good stuff.
Yes. I'm sorry. I have upper Parkinson's, so I tell everybody not only am I an old coot, but now I sound like one also.
Dan Collier, one of the true greats of Chicago area racing. Great to see you. Congratulations on that induction into the Hall of Fame this year. Let's have a hand for Dan Collier. Gerace, probably not Fabricius. What's
Hello, everybody. I'm Samantha Drays. I'm Joe Fabricius's second oldest granddaughter. And I just want to say thanks to everybody that voted him into this. If he was still here today, he would probably be so excited, even though he doesn't like people to appreciate the work he did. But he started Sycamore Speedway for us, and now my parents actually own it. So we're going to be stuck there for life. We're going to be stuck there for life. But it's all thanks to what he created many, many, many moons before I was even a thought in somebody's eyes. But he started something, and we are going to just keep going with it. But thank you, thank you, thank you.
Let's have a hand for Joe Fabricius's granddaughter. And I mean, that's a place to go out to on a Saturday night there. It's a beautiful little racetrack. Kind of got that little rustic thing going there, and the pits in the woods. I like it. It's great. Congratulations, Joe Fabricius. Well, Jerry Clark, I think I'm done. All right, again, the Hall of Fame inductees for 2022, Dick Trickle, Frank Reber, Bob Dotter Sr., Joe Ross Sr., Joe Fabricius, Roger Smith, Bob Novi, and Dan Collier. Again, congratulations. The inductees will be honored at the 20th Annual Illinois Stock Car Hall of Fame Day, Saturday, September the 10th. The Hall of Fame gathering, it starts at the Historic Auto Attractions Museum in Roscoe, Illinois. Later in the evening, the banquet at the Hoffman House in Rockford. Check with Jerry Clark or Earl Clement at the table there in the other room for more information. And thank you, Jimmy McCarthy and Steve Bechtel, for letting us do this today. Thanks again, Jimmy.
Well, I just want to take a quick second to let everybody know that Stan and Tommy Turtle were the ones that started all this, and hopefully we're continuing it in their honor and keeping it going well. And thanks to Jerry and Earl for their efforts at the Illinois Stock Car Hall of Fame, and I heard they just built a big building out there to make it even bigger. And Art's not here today, but all you guys know Fireball Fairman, and he's a big part of it too. And thank you all for coming out. We're going to try to get some more raceway drivers up here in a couple minutes to do some more interviews. And thank you all very much. We appreciate it.